Hi, hope this works. It's really annoying. So I've just recorded a big video and the sound didn't work, so I'm going to do it again. I was going to say that this Labour government does have some achievements, and the way Gary's economics talk and lots of people talk, it's as if they've just failed, and it's just the same as the previous government, which is rubbish. Labour governments are about public service renewal mainly. Obviously NHS needs turning round, and waiting lists are down by 200,000. There's been 5 million extra GP appointments. They're aiming for 2 million. The police got more resources, I've noticed, in my local area, and arresting a lot more people. What else? We've got the best trade deal with the US, better than anyone else's. But it's still worse than it was before. There's tariffs on it, but there's nothing we can do about it. We've just got better rates than everyone else. But that's going to hurt our economy. And prices at the shops, they were never just going to magically go down just because Labour's in power. That's never happened. Minimum wage has gone up. Conservatives usually put the minimum wage up as well. Obviously, it's good for people working those jobs, but it's not. But it feeds into high prices because businesses face higher costs. Just like all supermarkets face higher staff costs from the minimum wage and previous pay rises because of the inflation before. So a lot of that is, that's embedded now. That's why the prices are quite high. Inflation's at 3.8%. Could be a bit better, but it could be worse. And we're not really in a world anymore because of climate change. Rachel Reeves recognised this before she became Chancellor. There's always going to be crop failures and price spikes for certain goods. So it's very difficult to keep things, to keep prices so low. There's always a shortage of something and a high price. What else? You've got a government that actually cares about climate change. It's putting a lot of money into clean energy. But it's going to take a while. Yes, after 1 year we've got more solar and a few more wind farms approved, but obviously it's going to take a while. At the moment we're still completely beholden to what's happening on international markets for energy prices. Well, with the gas price, and gas prices are higher than they were a year ago, and the demand for AI uses lots of energy, and lots of countries are building that, and gas is the most readily available form of energy. So and you think for yourself, each time you use AI, then that has an energy footprint. So don't think that doesn't push into higher energy prices. So but actually energy prices are the same as they were a year ago and the year before that. Yes, they've gone up in October. They always go up in October. because because the cost is higher, because everyone wants energy now. But they've only gone up by 2 or 3% this time. In previous years, they've gone up by a higher percentage in October. But yeah, we're at the same. It's whatever it is, 1,700 and something for the typical bill. Is basically the same as it was the last 2 years. So it's not gone up actually. Yes, it's gone up compared to 3 months previously. Yeah, so Labour have some good achievements. They haven't just failed. They haven't, done all the things on inequality and done a wealth tax. That's true. And maybe they will do some more of that, but they put VAT on private schools. That's a wealth tax. Yeah, and if you've got kids growing up, free breakfast clubs, and more investment in education, and I think it's free childcare. So that's what I'm finding. People who watch Gary's economics, think Labour's just they've just failed, and then they're like, it's as if there's no change and it's rubbish. They just haven't done, the wealth tax. Okay. They haven't got everything right. I don't agree with third runway at Heathrow. And obviously, anyway, I could go on for a little while, but I better go. But just make sure you know Labour's achievements, before you throw the baby out with the bathwater and let reform in a few years. Just make sure you're being fair, and that you have to listen to Starmer and Reeves. You have to listen to the achievements when they speak for more than a minute or two on the news. Otherwise you'll end up with a much worse government for younger generations. Okay, right. Bye.